Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's Dungeon Solitaire. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to May 29th. We are doing Dungeon Solitaire.
That's right. Kryptonite 2010 is when it came out. And it's a downloadable. Started on the iPhone. You know, it was just an iPhone game. Now it's iPad and I believe like Android and whatnot. Okay.
Real quick, I don't suppose you know it's going to make it to PlayStation Network or Xbox?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know how. It's definitely touch sensitive. It's basically a card game. Okay. It's a mobile card game. But it's obviously geared towards one player, you know, in Solitaire.
Right, Solitaire.
Although I do believe... No, that's the other game. Anyway, this came about me looking for...
crappy games.
Actually, yes. We're doing a new segment, and so we're looking for some bad games.
New segment for our new website.
We're going to make each other play bad games.
I don't know if we're going to do that the first day, but we will have that soon.
Yeah, we're working on it. But anyway... and it led me to this game, which is not a crappy game, but it's just one of those fun. It's 99 cents. There are some expansion, card things you can buy later, but I think all said and done, it costs you like $7 if you download everything. Anyway, Solitaire. I'm one of those guys that like Solitaire. Sometimes you just have a couple minutes to kill, and this is much more engaging than Solitaire. A lot of people have complained about it. It hasn't gotten good reviews just because half the people are like, it's not balanced right. It's like, it's Solitaire. There are times where you're just not going to win.
Yeah,
like,
take a regular stack of cards and play regular Solitaire.
I would be really irritated if you won all the time, which, when I built my Solitaire for my card game, I made sure that you could lose. That's important. So I disagree. There are some times where you lose right away, or sometimes you win fairly soon.
Oh yes, this one time I got like all villains, and I died before I can even start.
So you do get bad breaks, but you just start a new game and win. But it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of fun characters, fun art. Like I said, $1, $1 to $7. So the thing is that you have your fortress, and I will say that the interface graphics are a little, whatever. They're just mobile games.
Yeah.
But the art is cool. Anyway, you have a fortress and you're trying to protect that. So you have a row that you fill up with the villains, the bad guys, the monsters, and then you have a row that you fill up with the hero cards. And some of the cards have different abilities to them, but they all have what I call, and I'm not sure, I forget what they call them officially, but I call it magic and might rating, which the might is the top and how strong. So you might have a 6 or something. I mean, it goes up to 7, I think, automatically, but you also have modifying cards that come up. So anyway, you deal with this deck of cards. You do have an old holding area that you can negotiate some cards, but if a villain pops up, then you place the villain, and then the hero pops up, and you place the hero. But you do it in such a way that when the villain and the hero are across from each other, they will do battle. So you need to make sure that your hero stats are higher than the villain to destroy them, right. Or if they have a little modifier, sometimes like a skull, if they clash and they have the skull, then the person with the skull will win.
Right.
If
that's if they tie, right?
Right. Well, if they have some sort of tie. So here's the thing: so let's say you have a bad guy and he has 6 for both his might and his magic, and you have a good guy that has a 6 for might but only a 1 for magic. So they're obviously lower in magic by 5, but because the 6 and 6 are equal, you have to be equal or higher. When they come together to battle, they will clash, and if they don't have a modifier, they'll just stay there. So in other words, as long as you have the same in one category, then you're going to have a stalemate situation. So then you need to rely on either the little modifier that you have, so the skull, or there's an arrow that like bumps you up, or
which is fun. It's kind of a different dynamic. Yeah,
it's a little hard to explain. Fortunately, there are like a couple of demonstration videos. Like I even watched one of them to make sure I wanted to buy the game. There's no demo that I know, but like I say, $1. It's a lot of fun. You played it?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It's very easy to learn. I mean, you showed me real quick how it's done, but
I honestly didn't even look at the help section. So, I mean, I hadn't seen that video, so I knew the basic setup, and then I just went through that and learned what the different things did.
And as soon as you showed me how it should be played, I had no problem maneuvering it and, understanding what the special cards did,
And you can equip each character. You can do the thing where It's like maybe it actually would behoove you to add one to this character,
Right.
because then it'll bump them up because it'll clash with one that has a little arrow, yada yada yada. So sometimes it's better to like bump up their strength rather than buff up just yours, or whatever. And they have like different traps that will reduce certain categories, and then they have potions that you can use, potion cards, but you can only use like one at a time. So you have this holding area that get.
How many slots are there? There's like 5, right, or 6?
I think there's 6.
Okay, so you have. I don't know if you explained this.
5 or 6.
There's the 6 slots, and and basically, if you have all 6 slots filled up with villains, if you get a new villain, that villain automatically goes to the castle and attacks it.
Right.
And you're only allowed 3 characters or 3 villains to attack the castle before you lose.
Right.
So
and the heroes, it doesn't matter. It's like if you get a full set of heroes and then one more, then you win the game. But you can't bump them into the fortress to like delete an attacking enemy or whatever. So, but yeah, if you want to really see how the game functions, I definitely recommend it. It's just Dungeon Solitaire. It's simple. Just search for a how-to or a tutorial or something.
Yeah.
You'll find something. But for $1, no problem.
And it is a lot of fun to kill time with, just sitting
Solitaire.
on the bus or
Solitaire.
something.
It would be fun to have one. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a problem with the click and drag, so maybe they do have a computer version. I don't know. Because it would be fun to just do I'm kind of a little bored with Solitaire, although it's a classic game. It'll never totally get that old.
Yeah, really.
Anyway. I guess I'm going to use this opportunity to tell you about another couple games. Another game that I found is free, and it is called DH3, or I think it's Dungeon Hunter 3.
Dungeon Hunter 3.
This is me wanting to have Diablo 3, but can't afford it right now. So, yeah, it's Dungeon Hunter 3. There you go. Whatever. I think it's better on this side.
It is.
And,
it's always better on my
It's
side.
free. It's free. It's free.
Can't argue with that.
It's free. So anyway, it's very Diablo-esque. It was recommended, people who can't play Diablo. It was actually before Diablo's release. It's like, to tide you over, here's some free games, and Dungeon Hunter is one of them. They've had 1, 2, and 3. 3 is the most up-to-date, obviously. The graphics are decent. I mean, whatever. It's a mobile game. I never had any real slowdown or anything. You can choose from different classes. You can choose male or female. You can equip yourself differently. And you have a fairy that follows you around that you can upgrade and stuff. And it's just one of those games that it's free because they're hoping that you'll get frustrated with the level that you are and just go ahead and pay to buff up your character quickly. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to play slowly. I just play it an hour at a time, or not even an hour, like a half an hour at a time, and then come back the next day. They have new missions every day, but it's literally like I'm just going to load one up. It is one of those games where you have the thumbstick.
Oh, the thumbstick.
But you just move your character around. Oh, I guess it's on this side. You move your character around.
Ooh, I'm gonna try that.
And fight. So whatever. It's just kind of fun, and they only have I don't know, like maybe 10 different stages, and then they reuse the stages and make them harder and harder with different enemies and that sort of. Well, a little bit different enemies. So there is a lot of repetition, but again, free. And if you just play a little at a time, it can be compelling and. It gives you the goals correctly to be like, I want to unlock that new sword, and then I want to afford it or whatever.
I give you.
You do have to wade through the advertising and whatnot, but it is fun, and the different fairies' abilities are quite satisfying. So that's a quick little substitute. The last game, while he's playing with that, which he probably should be at least quiet when he's playing. Last game I'm going to talk about is called Skullgirls. And it is a PSN download. I think it's exclusive to PSN. Maybe not. Maybe it's Xbox as well.
Wave complete.
But Skullgirls is very much Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the fighting game that's very, it's two-dimensional kind of cell shading, and you can call in, you can have teams of like up to 3 and call in other characters, swap them out. Skullgirls does the exact same thing. In fact, it feels like it's the exact same engine, but it does mix things up a little bit in that the characters are really fun and quirky.
Anger troll.
Really fun and quirky. All right, that's enough of that. You die.
Oh.
Skullgirls, the characters are really fun and quirky. Yeah, whatever. I don't even want to bother explaining. They're just really fun. There's a demo available, so go on PSN and download it if you're interested. But unlike Marvel vs. Capcom 2, you can have 1 to 3 characters in your team. And if you only have 1 and you fight, like, say, 3 on the other team, it doesn't have to be, the same on each side. You're just stronger as the 1, and then they're a little bit weaker as the 3. But so they get the added benefit of having different move sets and you get the added benefit of being, stronger.
Uber strong.
So that's really fun. You can do 1, 2, or 3, any combination of. My only complaint is that it is $15, which I think that Marvel vs. Capcom, it might have even be Marvel vs. Capcom 2 might have even been $10. But even if it was 15, the roster is way huger and bigger than Skullgirls. Skullgirls is I think there's 6 characters, but they're all really fun characters. They're well worth it, and they're such a cool style. They're a little over-sexed, but in a cartoony way. So it's I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So again, they're really fascinating characters, and if it was $10, I'd not hesitate to say go out and get it. $15, you kind of have to like it to really go for it. If there was more depth, the one thing that people are really complaining about Skullgirls is that there is no moveset list. You can get it online, but you can't get it in game. So that's kind of irritating. But I don't really do much with that anyway, honestly. I just have fun,
He's a button masher.
The bright colors and I'm not always a button masher.
No, you're not.
It's more. See, for some reason, I can get into those games more than I can. The one that you love so much, Soul Calibur. For some reason, Soul Calibur has this barrier where I just can't get the flow right.
Soul Calibur's awesome.
But
Soul
Marvel
Calibur,
Capcom, and this one I can,
Which one?
Street Fighter is very,
3, 4? 4. Soul Calibur 4 was really good.
Anyway, so that's another game you can check out. I recommend all 3 of them. Definitely free. And then the dungeon, if you like Solitaire and you're kind of into the dungeon, aesthetic.
It's $1.
Yeah, the demons and the wizards and the monsters.
Yeah,
and
the free one the free one that I was playing would easily. What was that one called? Dungeon Hunter 3.
Yeah.
That one's just fun. You're just sitting there,
it's just a little repetitive, so don't expect a full game.
Yeah, but it is free. It's fun. And then Dungeon Solitaire for $1, that's fun too.
Yeah. So
and
if you have a mobile device. And the card game is solid on the phone, so there's no problem there.
Right.
It's a little harder with the Dungeon Hunter just because it's so small, but it still works.
And then you have Skull Calibur, right?
Skullgirls. That's PSN
right.
though.
Oh.
It's PSN, so. But it's cool. It's a cool aesthetic. Okay, so go check those out. A few new games for you to look at.
Yep.
Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Tell us what you think.
Check out all of our wares on SpiderWolf.com. We've got T-shirts. We've got prints. We've got card games. Well, a card game, and we have
short stories.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have some Kickstarter projects, so look forward to that.
And then also check out NexusDigitalComics.com because come Friday. Wait, today's Friday. No, tomorrow's Friday. No, Friday. Come Friday.
Today's Tuesday.
Come Friday, we're gonna start the new launch of the site, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of new content.
Yeah, we're gonna
rotate.
Bunch
of new stuff.
You're gonna have new stuff every day, but you're also gonna have rotating stuff.
Right.
It'll be a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
If you want to be involved, let us know.
Yeah, please let us know. We're always looking for people who want to help, who want to,
and support
us any way that we can, any way that you can,
and contribute
any way that you can, any way that we can.
All right, guys.
Signing
off.
Yes. Oh, right underneath mine.
See you later. I think we're tied again.
I saw you fly.
You came over here.
Next up, Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope.
Dungeon, Solitaire. Welcome to Do Review.
Sounds like Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. We've got a wonderful show for you today.
See, I would say Star Trek, but I know it's Trek. But it's like people are called Trekkies. I know that. But it sounds like people are saying Star Trek. Star Trek.
Like to trek.
Star Trek. It's just you say it fast enough, I guess.
Star Trek.
I'm more of a Star Wars guy. Although I really enjoy Star Trek.
Maybe that's what happened. Like Star Wars,
I don't know. Maybe I just subconsciously I'm going to pronounce it wrong because it's not as good as Star Wars. Although now, Star Trek's better.
Yeah.
Because Star Wars has been sullied.
Those 3 movies.
There is a. We're probably not going to review it, but there's a documentary on Netflix about George Lucas and his fans, and how they have this love-hate relationship with him.
I think I saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't actually see
it's
it,
kind
but
of fun.
I saw it on Netflix.
It's kind of fun. I admire the guy because he lets people rag on him so much, but he's still such a douche for ruining those movies. Come on, man. Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
I don't know.
Something profound and sickly.
Probably. Today on Do Review, Dungeon Solitaire of Death.
Crap.
And Science.
I think it's 2010.
2000 and something.
I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Ching. It's part of the game. Ching, ching.
Oh yeah.
That's more of a like woo 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 woo, like a Pac-Man. All right.
I've always wanted to make Q*bert noises. I never could.
I never liked that game. It
What?
always frustrated me.
Then clearly you don't like steps.
And I also really, like, I remember fondly, I know this is totally different, but it just reminded me of Atari Pitfall. I remember it fondly. I can't friggin' get, like, a minute into the game now. Like, how do you make it over the 3 alligators?
Yeah, like, oh,
How the hell do you do that? There must be something I'm forgetting. I don't know.
Yeah, really, timing or something.
So irritating.
Well, I think-
Old games, they're so simple and so freaking hard.
Yeah, I think that if you stand on one, it won't open its mouth, so you can just
Oh, is
stand
that
there.
what it is?
I think so. So you just stand there and then wait for the other one to close and then jump on him.
I
But I'm not.
always just tried to make it a maybe.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
I'm not 100%. Did you put the
I turned.
You-
Yeah. So I don't know how much you can see it, but
maybe without the girl Claire?
yeah, it's kind of difficult to see. Anyway, so you have these cards, and you go to a holding area, and you place
Can you
them.
hold it? I can hold it for you.
I don't know. No, this isn't working. So anyway, I don't know how to do this.
Where is it?
I don't even know if that's a hero or not. That's forget it. I don't think that works.
Okay, well that didn't work, but we'll have something.
Yeah, no, we'll just.